After we got our debate motion, the most important thing that we have to do during our prep time is to find out powerful contentions that can support our side. So in this video, I'll explain how to generate contentions. We know that the reasons we use to support our side are called contentions. Sometimes we may find that on the topic that we're familiar with, we can find out a dozen points to support it. But for other topics which weren't talked about very often, we hardly know how to support our side. So in order to address this problem, my debate partner in high school taught us a way to generate contentions. That is to lay out the possible benefits that our side can have on the economy, social stability, moral, and other aspects. So when we lay out these benefits on those aspects, those benefits can be our contentions. And when we are brainstorming for contentions and don't know where to start with, this technique can help you to have a quick overview on this motion. However, if we use the result we get from this technique directly, here comes a great drawback of this technique. The points that we get from this technique are oftentimes superficial and not relevant to the focus of the debate. Here is an example. Let's use the motion that this House will ban using genetic modification on wild animals as an example. The negative side can bring up a contention that we should not ban genetic modification because the entire market of genetic modification can bring huge economic benefits like taxation and employment. So side negative may also support their contentions with facts about how severe the unemployment will be and how the government can use the money they get from taxing genetic modification, so on and so forth. However, to me, this is certainly a terrible point for side negative because the focus of this debate is on whether the uncontrollable risk of genetic modification will destroy the entire ecosystem and kill humanity. So if side affirmative proves that first, genetic modification will cause unknown mutations to animals and damage the ecosystem on a large scale. And second, by far there's no way to stop or to restore this damage once they're caused. Side affirmative wins this debate right away. They don't even have to refute your point about how much money you make or how many more people you can hire through the market of genetic modification, since the downside of genetic modification is to destroy the earth and outweigh the tiny economic benefits that we get from it. So the example above tells us what a superficial contention is, and now I will talk about the importance of pre-screening our contentions. You don't win the debate by stuffing 100 failed and superficial contentions into your speeches. You win the debate with a few strong contentions. So in my understanding, there are two important aspects of the contentions or characteristics of contentions that makes pre-screening necessary. The first one is focus. The second one is risk. So first, let's talk about focus. Every debate has a focus, which is the major topic that two sides will argue about. In a genetic modification example, the focus of the debate is on how risky genetic modification is and whether these risks will destroy humanity. In the example, the negative contention is not on this focus. So if we raise too many contentions that are irrelevant, the entire speech will be chaotic and the strength of our contention will be diluted. And second, one side usually have 2 to 3 contentions. What do you think is the relationship between your contentions? So people may think that the relationship between contentions is parallel, and when one contention fails, the other still holds true. However, the fact is that the risk of the contention is a series. So if any of your argument fails, you lose the debate. Because your opponent's refutation and your counter-argument will make the contention the focus of the debate, and whoever wins this focus wins the entire debate. So if we just bring up an invalid contention, we are likely to be punished and lose the round. And after we talked about why we need to pre-screening our contentions carefully, let's discuss how to find that valid and strong contention. So one of the topics that my partner once debated and lost was this House will tax soda. According to him, this topic is extremely one-sided. The affirmative can easily bring up the contention, we should tax soda for public health. And they can support this claim by saying that obesity is the most severe health problem America nowadays, and soda is one of the major causes of obesity since they are literally cans of sugar and do no good to human body. So when you take a quick look at the negative side, you can hardly find any contentions beside the economic benefits, which is kind of superficial and irrelevant according to my previous slides. However, think it this way. If this motion really tilts towards affirmative side, most countries in this world should already have laws or policies that tax soda. However, the reality is you barely see any country have any of these policies, so it couldn't tilt towards affirmative. What may be the reasons for government not to tax soda? Ask yourself this question. The most obvious one is that taxing soda will damage the soda industry, and also taxing soda is limiting the freedom for both consumers and producers of soda. But don't the government care about its people's health? So if people are completely in charge of their own body and own health, why are drugs not legalized in most part of this world? After we ask ourselves these questions, it becomes clear to us that even though soda and drugs have similarities, because they will both cause health problems, they also have huge differences. The drugs are way more dangerous than soda. You have to drink a lot of soda before it has any negative effects on you. So we get this conclusion that this consumer good has to be dangerous or harmful enough before the government passes any policies to limit them. Also, we can imagine what will happen if the government passes policies to tax soda. Almost all the citizens will be mad because they will feel they don't even have the freedom to drink Coke, which is kind of ridiculous in most of the people. We can see that taxing soda is probably not the best way to limit the soda. So the negative contentions can be generated from these directions. First, taxing soda is limiting the basic right of normal people. If government tax soda because soda is high in sugar and can harm the human body, the government can also likely to tax everything from ice cream, fried chicken, popcorn to whatever and so on, since all the junk food will cause so-called harm to human body. We see that even countries under dictatorship do not think that they have to limit people's freedom to consume soda or junk food. So second, even though that we think we should limit the consumption of soda, taxing is a terrible way of limiting of this limitation, since it will increase the economic pressure of lower classes. And lower class people are the major consumers for junk food. Third, we have a lot of other ways to limit consumptions of soda besides taxing soda. Limiting the advertisement or educating people about potential health problems after overdosing soda can be an alternative way to limit consumptions without limiting people's freedom. And by now, we have generated contentions for this motion, and I hope you guys can learn something from it, and I'll see you in the next video.